Downing Street, is apparently scrambling to save the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. This follows the resignation of his deputy, Angela Rayner, and the sacking of Lord Mandelson over his friendship with paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, with many accusing the PM of failing to act soon enough. All this comes at a very tough time, Sir Kier, following a protest at the weekend organised by far-right activist Tommy Robinson and growing anger at his government's failure, as some people see it, to tackle illegal immigration. So that's the question on everybody's lips. Should he be sacked? Should he resign? Or should he stay? What do you think, Mariella?
Well, gosh, I think first and foremost you can sort of feel the bloodlust in the media. They've had 2 scalps in the last 3 weeks, and there's a desperation to see, how far they can take it, which I find really unsavoury. But there is no question that the government is in trouble, and Keir Starmer in particular. I think if you talk to people at any level in, society at the moment, people are really, really not happy and worried and insecure about the future. But I think, you mentioned the march on Saturday, and I think you have to be really careful what you wish for as well. We're in danger of becoming a small nation who doesn't like anybody else and nobody else likes us, and is that really what we want to be? There's a brilliant novel by Cressida Connolly that's called After the Party, where she sort of charts this woman and how she gets lured into joining Oswald Mosley's The Party and that whole rise of the fascist movement before the Second World War, and we know where that took us. So I think we actually have to really think hard about when we're getting rid of people, why we're getting rid of people, and what comes after. And I think that Keir Starmer is a decent man. I think that, the government has really struggled to give us an optimistic vision for the future, and I think that's part of the reason people are struggling, is because, there isn't a project for us all to kind of invest in. I think they need to articulate. I think they need to articulate that very soon.
I mean,
But getting rid of Keir Starmer isn't going to solve the myriad of social problems that we have at the moment. It's not going to solve things.
But all the gossip in the Commons and things, and all the columnists are talking about, that there's now a campaign, Janet, within the Labour Party, with Labour politicians saying he needs to go because the next election in 4 years, we're not going to win it with Keir Starmer.
But we can't keep chucking our toys out of the pram every time something happens we're not happy with. I would say that Keir Starmer is incredibly bad at communication. He's stolid.
A lot of people say boring.
Yes, you'd be right. He's boring, stolid, but then he's reliable. Now,
I said a lot of people say he's boring. That's true.
I think when it comes to Peter Mandelson, he made a wrong call. And I speak as someone who's known Peter Mandelson since 1982. I've been to parties with Peter Mandelson. I've had a lot of fun. I've danced with Peter Mandelson. I even went to a Labour Party fundraiser with Peter Mandelson once. And I can confirm that Peter Mandelson loves rich people, loves the party, loves doing business with rich and powerful people all around the world, and ran a company offering advice to governments all around the world that often people that this government would not deal with. So he was a bizarre choice in the first place. But
best friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, and his apology is appalling, as if he didn't... as if the women who involved in all this were kind of almost also on board and not worthy of mention up to now. So I've got nothing in me wants to stick up for Peter Mandelson. But what I will say about Keir Starmer is, what's the alternative? I think we have to give him longer. We have to get him a better communications team, much, much better.
Do you think they have done? Do you think any of the good things that they have done, and I'm sure
they're
there
not
are many,
being sold to us
we're
properly.
not hearing about those?
Well, this morning on the radio, they were talking about the deal that we're going to do with President Trump for mini nuclear reactors. I know it sounds as boring as bathwater, but it is a really, really important deal. And we were we did secure a very good trade deal with America when other countries were faltering and the EU was left behind. So we have done good things. I just think that we can't turn him into a zappy-peppy kind of person, because he's not that kind of guy. But we can sell what he's doing better.
But then people are saying that he knew what Peter Mandelson was like. He knew of his friendship.
But I think that's
with
why
Jeffrey
he was chosen.
Epstein, and he shouldn't have been chosen. That's what
but
a lot
I
of
think
people
that's
are
why he
saying
was
now.
chosen. I think people thought, oh, we might as well get someone. I mean, if you think about why would you take that risk? The only reason is because they must have thought,
well, because
here's a
he had
guy who can
valuable
talk to the bad
contacts.
guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
And it was
it's
a
run
bad
out of
gamble.
time for my political
What do you think,
input.
Polly?
Haven't you?
Come on.
Oh,
What do you
not
think?
enough time.
Come
really.
on.
I just think, you know, obviously all of you know the ins and outs of politics more than me, but as a person just at home, I think we have no faith in them. We don't believe a word they say, and I think we've lost any form of enthusiasm for any of them. So, you know, you could sack him tomorrow. We wouldn't like the next one either. And I do think he's gone back on a lot. I saw his winning speech recently on the news today, actually, and everything he said in that speech he hasn't done. So it's like, I don't care.
Do you think we're just fed up with all of them? We did actually ask you at home in our poll, should Keir Starmer resign? And 82% said yes.
Yes.
Oh.
I think he should.
Oh, I think
18
that's
for no.
harsh.
Sorry, Sir Kier, if you're watching.